Hey, what is up, guys? Tyler here with Secure Team. Buzz Aldrin, the infamous Apollo moon landing astronaut, indeed the second man to walk on the moon, has just been evacuated from none other than Antarctica. This is kind of strange. I've been getting a bunch of emails about this. News reports are just hitting the web, with a lot of people asking why he was in Antarctica. It's kind of a strange place to be. You don't really hear a lot of news stories about celebrities or anyone for that matter just heading down to Antarctica. And so it's raising questions, and something else we've talked about in past videos is there seems to be a lot of activity and a lot of visits to the South Pole by some very powerful people this year. If you remember, we recently did a video about how John Kerry, who is the Secretary of State, also visited Antarctica, and by the way, is now the highest ranking American official to have ever visited the South Pole. And now we have none other than a man, Buzz Aldrin, who is at the center of one of the biggest conspiracies in the topic of ufology, and that is the moon landings. Buzz Aldrin was among the first men to ever set foot on the moon, and what they saw there has been a topic of debate, of fierce debate, since that fateful day in 1969. So it's raising a lot of questions. Now, according to the articles I can find online, astronaut Buzz Aldrin medically evacuated from South Pole, and this is according to the National Science Foundation and the Private Tourism Group. Aldrin, who is 86, is in stable condition after his, quote, condition deteriorated while visiting Antarctica, according to White Desert, which organizes luxury tourism trips to the icy continent. The group said Aldrin was evacuated on the first available flight out of the Amundsen Scott South Pole Station to the McMurdo Station on the Antarctic coast under the care of a doctor with the U.S. Antarctic Program. He was then flown to New Zealand and is recovering there. It's just strange. The South Pole has also been topic of much debate, and there is a lot of evidence that when shit does hit the fan, pardon my French, that there will be only a few places where you will see these high-ranking individuals go, and people who they deem worthy. And one of those places is the South Pole. There's been a lot of talk of these deep underground bases that have been built there. And we all know that back in the 50s, there was a mutual agreement, a treaty between all of the countries and superpowers of the world that none of them would be able to lay claim to the icy continent. And although you can visit Antarctica, there are plenty of places at our South Pole that are under heavy military guard and that you cannot visit. Furthermore, there have been noted some very obvious censorship when you try to look at the South Pole via satellite images, Google Maps. There's places that are completely blurred or airbrushed out. If you remember, we also posted a video recently of these massive pyramids that we found down at the South Pole. You're seeing those here. Massive, artificial-looking pyramids just sticking up out of the icy white snow. Many have said that this was the true reason for Secretary of State John Kerry's visit, and that they're discovering some very strange things down in Antarctica. And we do know that when you have high-ranking officials or military personnel who want to visit a certain place, they will usually use the guise of vacation or private tour as the public or official reason, just as we're seeing here. And again, been getting a lot of emails about it. Could there be something more to this? I don't know. But all I'm basically saying is that there has been a lot of activity, some very high-ranking, prominent people that have been visiting and taking interest in the South Pole this year. And make no mistake, Buzz Aldrin is one of those high-ranking individuals. He is the poster boy and an icon for one of America's most amazing technological feats ever, one of the first men to walk on the moon. And he is held in high regard, and his knowledge regarding space and things of that nature is vast and unending. So, I'll continue to follow the story. I would just like to know what's going on with Antarctica. You know, we've posted photos of these bases that we found there, these holes in the side of mountains that look like they were carved out to fit saucer-shaped objects. We found strange objects, creatures possibly, swimming in the oceans surrounding the South Pole. You're seeing that image here that was found on Google Maps. No idea what this 140-foot object is that looks to be glowing in some places. 140 feet this object is here. I don't know of any sea life, maybe you guys can tell me, that has a length of 140 to 150 feet long, and that glows in certain places. So others have said possibly this is some sort of secret military submarine, some sort of craft that we don't know about. But keep me posted and let me know what your guys' opinion is about this whole Antarctica deal. And so I just wanted to post this quick video up. Another thing, before we go today, I want to show you some very interesting footage captured over London, England. Something is happening in London. If you remember, we just did a video about this mass UFO sighting over Turkey. Still, not very many answers about this. And even up to 5 minutes ago, I'm still getting messages from people who are saying that they are having trouble finding messages and things on Twitter about the event, as well as having their own tweets censored or disappear mysteriously. And so we're seeing these strange lights all over the world, and now it would seem that these lights have now migrated over to the UK, and we've got some interesting footage that has come in, so go ahead and check this out. Alright, so this was emailed over by a viewer in London, who also actually in his email mentions the Turkey UFO incident and how this struck him as very similar. And as you can see, yet again, we have another pair of lights sitting stagnant, inert, immovable in the sky over London. Something very different from your flares, from your Chinese lanterns. These things sit there and then eventually disappear out of the sky, vanish one by one. We've seen this so many times all over the world. Same thing happened over Canada recently, where these lights had followed a man for over 20 kilometers. Followed him, freaked him out. And now we have these that were witnessed. The source said he can guarantee that these were not planes or city lights. He said that they were too bright to have been stars, and that he definitely felt that there was a pattern here, especially with the other sightings. And he's right. We've seen these pairs of lights all over the world. And some of you say, hey, I'm sick of UFO videos showing lights in the sky. But again, there are many different types of UFOs that we have seen. Some that take on the shape of a craft, some that are very detailed, others that appear at night and sit in the sky in the form of these lights. And what is so amazing about sightings specifically linking to these pairs of UFOs is that we are seeing them all over the world. And the evidence is building and building. And something is going on with these lights, so it's very important to talk about these. Because these things, these pairs of lights, are quickly becoming one of the most widespread type of sightings that we've been able to document. And the more that we see them, the more we can rule out something natural, and we can actually study their movements and try to put the puzzle pieces together. Now, I have another photograph also sent to me just today by a viewer out of Frimley, England. And I hope I'm saying that correctly. Frimley or Frimley, England, where a triangular formation of lights was captured in the dark skies on December 1st. So just a few hours ago. The email reads, "Hello, my friend saw 3 moving lights in the sky in Frimley, UK. She said that they were moving at the same time and in formation across the town. She managed to take a picture of it, which I attached to this email. Beneath the triangle formation, there are more mysterious lights that we believe to be a second UFO. However, these lights are further away from the main one. Another interesting thing was that her mobile phone started losing signal and power not long after she was trying to tell me what she saw on Snapchat." So, sent over by Christian from the UK. Yet again, more lights in the sky, moving in formation, just as what we saw in Turkey, moving over a vast distance of hundreds and hundreds of miles, seen in multiple cities. And now we have this photo here showing more of these objects. Again, very similar to what we saw in Turkey. And another common occurrence that we're seeing in more and more UFO sightings is when these cell phones and cameras that people use to capture these start to die. Even when they're at full battery, their phones will just go dead. You'll start to get some static or some interference, and before you know it, you look down, your screen's black, and your phone will not turn on. It is only after you leave the area or head home a short time later does your phone turn back on and work perfectly normal, as if nothing ever happened. And this has happened so many countless times and is so common that I can definitely say that whatever these crafts are, many of them seem to be harboring technology that allows them to knock out any sort of camera or surveillance device in the immediate area. So, very strange. I want you guys to keep your eyes open, especially over the UK. With Turkey, with Canada, with all of these sightings that have happened within just this past week, we're definitely starting to see a pattern here, and we need to stay vigilant and keep our eyes open. Nothing to worry about. I'm not saying panic. I'm just saying let's keep our eyes open, because these things are ramping up, and the more evidence and footage we get, the more, hopefully, the more the mainstream will take notice. And maybe one day soon, one glorious day, we will finally get some answers. So again, let me know what you guys think about these strange visits to Antarctica. And before you go today, I want to let you guys know that after popular demand, we have added some new Secure Team hats, shirts, even Christmas ornaments to our online Secure Team shop. So if you want to get decked out in your very own Secure Team gear, be sure to head over to the online shop. We've got some Secure Team shirts, some funny shirts. We've got some NASA Never a Straight Answer shirts. Heck, we've even got massive shirts, and would be a perfect Christmas gift for your significant other. Alright, so thank you guys for stopping by. I'll see you back soon with another video. I'm going to try to get it up tonight, so stick around, and I'll see you in just a bit. Stay safe, guys.